everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. As we head towards kickoff, two quarterbacks will be on the field today trying to push their team to victory. It's the Bills going up against the Patriots. So let's get you up to Foxborough as we check in with our commentators, Brandon Guy and Charles Davis.
Thank you very much, Larry. While the skies may be ominous, there's never a bad day for football. Today, we've got an AFC East matchup between the Buffalo Bills and the New England Patriots. Hi again, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And you know, Charles, as Larry pointed out in the open, got a couple of great quarterbacks set to square off here this afternoon. That ball's probably going to be flying all over the place, isn't it?
Oh, without a doubt. And the game has never been more quarterback-centric than it is now. And both of these teams have top-flight signal callers.
Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. Danny Amendola on the return. Then he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. So now the Patriots getting set to take over on offense. And they'll be led out by the man running the show, Charles, their quarterback. They come out here in the eye. Now a first carry for LeGarrette Blount. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. And Blount should be running with some confidence coming off that Week 3 game. He was over 100 yards, scored twice as well.
And he likes being the focal point of things. He doesn't say a whole lot, but he enjoys having the game on his shoulders. I mean, let's face it, him running inside where there is a lot of traffic, he usually cleans it up pretty well just by himself, so does a great job. And did you see him after his second touchdown?
Oh, he posed with a Minuteman.
Yes, it looks like that's becoming kind of a tradition for him. And what a great tradition to establish when you play in New England.
And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
Look, the record shows that the Bills got off to an 0-2 start. And things weren't exactly rosy in Buffalo. But how about that defensive performance against one of the most high-powered offenses in the league in the Arizona Cardinals?
They had 4 straight 3-and-outs in that game. They looked like a different unit.
They look like a Rex Ryan defense. Exactly what he preaches, getting to the football fast, making big plays, taking care of all the gaps. They look like a cohesive unit against the Cardinals. But no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
Now it's Tate. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. In Week 3, these Buffalo Bills, they had quite the upset over Arizona, probably the upset of the week. Tyrod Taylor leading them on offense, and in that game against Arizona, 14-25, not bad, 119 yards, but did throw a pick.
Threw the pick, but the thing that really helped him and his offense, his legs. Scampered for a 49-yard touchdown run, the longest run by a Bills quarterback in their history, and that helped open up things for their offense.
Yeah, he finished the game. You mentioned that run. Total 9 carries, 76 yards with his legs. They come up in an offset eye. Now the first carry for LaShawn McCoy. And he's going to be out of bounds up around the 45-yard line. Give him 11 on the gain there. And I think for LaShawn McCoy, the 17-carry, 110-yard performance with 2 touchdowns in Week 3, the best he's looked since leaving Philly.
First 2 weeks of the season, combined yardage was only 7 yards more, I believe, than what he ran for this past Sunday. So when you look at that, and then you remember last season, the Bills led the league in rushing. They've got to make sure he touches the football and gets their running game going.
And they'll keep it on the ground with McCoy. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there, second down. All right, let's take a look at the offensive starters and the second-round pick out of USC one to talk about, Robert Woods.
I think a lot of people thought maybe he was ticketed for stardom coming out of USC. Has always been a great route runner, much more of a complimentary receiver, but they can utilize that in a big way and have him open up things in the middle.
On second down, Taylor. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. Well, partner, this New England defense was dominant in Week 3. The Texans, they shut them out. That's the first time that Houston's been shut out since 2003.
In a lot of ways, what New England's doing in 2016 reminds me of Miami back in the early 1970s. Remember, that defense didn't even have a nickname, so they turned it into a nickname for them. And this group, we don't really say a whole lot. Different names may pop up, but it's how they play as a collective unit. I do look at Dante Hightower, though, and see that big physical and intelligent presence that he brings to them. But it's 11 guys playing really, really well, and I'd hate to try and move the ball against them. On 3rd and 1, I think everyone in the stadium thought they'd try and run the football there, but they tried to surprise the defense and hit something through the air. Instead, it results in an incompletion.
Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. For the 3-and-out.
And what they have to build off of, great confidence right now. Being able to stuff someone on a 3-and-out, you feel like you're in control now. You're doing the dictating. They want to see if that can continue as this game progresses.
Will it continue? We'll see. They go play action here on 1st down. And he finds a man in a crossing route. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver, because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw.
Blunt, the lone running back. He'll get it running right. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. Let's discuss this offense now, and Julian Edelman, very good player.
Has really developed into a terrific slot receiver, and a lot of times he would be the primary receiver. Still mad coming out of college that he's now a quarterback in the NFL. He takes it out on the opposing defenses.
Here's Brissett. And here's the first Patriot catch for the former Bill, Chris Hogan. Give him 7 on the play, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Now a stoppage here as we've got a Bill shaken up on the play. We'll get a report when we return to Foxborough. Brissett. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Quickly now, a look at the Buffalo defense.
Kyle Williams never gets the credit he deserves as a defensive tackle, but every offense in the league knows how difficult it is to block him.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. Trying to squeeze it into Edelman, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You gonna let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
And the Bills offense comes out ready to take over. And they'll be looking to avoid what happened last time, which is punting the football.
But when you look at how teams play the game, that complementary football comes into play. How do I take care of my defense? How do I take care of my offense? Well, the defense is taking care of them in a lot of ways. Now it's time for the offense to jump things up and help their defense out. Give them a little bit of rest.
Yeah, time for them to give them a rest. Took the words right out of my mouth. After the interception, here's Taylor. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down. And quickly, let's check out the New England defense.
It seems like whenever people talk about Chris Long, the number one thing they discuss is his motor and how relentless he is. Let's not forget, he's also a superior athlete.
They'll come out in the pistol. A fake to McCoy. Now it's Taylor. Airing it out deep for Woods. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Logan Ryan. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Naturally, we're going to say it was a poor pass, but the defensive guys say it was just a great play by them. They broke on the football, picked it off, and gave some momentum to their team.
A chance for us to look now at the Bills' defense. They've certainly got something to build off of. They had the interception last time out.
And now they have to just make sure they're cognizant of not trying too hard for interceptions. Once you get one, it makes you a little more antsy to try and get another one. Now you got to be careful of double moves, different things like that against them. But they like the momentum that they've begun to build.
And we'll see if they can keep that momentum going. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Slant route caught by Edelman. And he's brought down after a good gain. It's a gain of 21 that time. And it'll be first down, New England. The former 7th-round pick, Julian Edelman, just continues to have such a productive career.
And has made himself into a receiver. Remember, he was a college quarterback, and not just a productive one, a very good one.
At Kent State, right?
Yes, a great leader, a guy who could make plays with his feet and his arm. Got to the NFL and had to convert into being a receiver and was drafted that way. And that conversion, oh boy, it's been good.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage. Brought to 32.
But when it comes to the running game, the New England Patriots, they're one of the few teams in the NFL that I don't think care much about balancing things out.
Last year, to your point, 5th in passing yardage, number 30 in the run game.
What they want to do each and every week is make a game plan based on their opponent, not so much their own personnel, and they try to attack that way.
Blunt, the lone running back. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Looking middle. It's caught by Gronkowski. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. Give him 8 on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And he's got an open man. It's Gronkowski. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. Here's Blunt. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, it's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends, former wide receivers who can run, not necessarily block very well. In this case, though, we saw 2 tight ends on the field, both of them with the ability to block, and they ran the ball successfully behind that power set.
They'll run again with Blunt, and he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. They tried to run the counter, just that the defense wasn't fooled.
And when they're not fooled, you see the end result, because what you're doing there, you mentioned the counter. You're using your offensive linemen sometimes to pull or move to influence the defensive front to go in that direction and create the space back in the other side and block it appropriately. But you're exactly right. Didn't move him, sat there waiting for him and made the play.
Now a first carry for Brandon Bolden. And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Gostkowski now for the Pats field goal try. It'll be a 47-yard attempt from the left hash. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And the Patriots jump out to a 3-0 lead. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
Yeah, as an offensive coordinator, if you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work. But in his defense, this has been a stifling defense so far. So they've got to start finding a way to unlock them as this game goes on.
Gostkowski now converted for 3. Now he'll kick this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. They come up in an offset eye. They'll start the drive with a carry by McCoy. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Gets a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. So McCoy adding to his yardage total in this one. Last year, 895 yards in his first season in Buffalo. Of course, he had Charles 4,000-yard years in Philadelphia.
And you know the man they call Shady wants to throw some shade at the Eagles for ever letting him go. He wants a big year in 2016.
On second down, it's McCoy. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves. An extra corner on the field for New England here on 3rd down.
Yeah, another DB. Now Taylor surveying the field. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Robert Woods, the intended receiver that time. And that brings up 4th down.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion as we just saw there, that's winning football.
Here's Colton Schmidt now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. This is taken at the 18. 12 yards on the return that time. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Bills now making their way back out onto the field. And 3 points surrendered on the last drive against them. They bent a little bit, but they didn't break.
I like that, and that's not always wrong. We run into a lot of coordinators that talk about, well, if I give up 3 points, my whole day's ruined. Actually, it's not. Just giving up field goals usually gives your team a chance to win if you're playing good defense.
Yeah, especially in the National Football League. They'll begin here with Blunt. And some room to maneuver. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. It's a pickup of 14 there. And that's good for a New England 1st down.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. He's able to get to the 2nd level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. Again, here's Blunt. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, that defensive win reminds me of something a coach of mine used to say all the time. If you really want it, you'll find a way to go get it. And the defense did exactly that.
Gronkowski, slot left. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this across midfield to the 48. They get 9 yards back on the run there, and they're left with a much more makeable 3rd and 2.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
And the defense searches for one more stop here after the run on 2nd down.
Let's go!
Here's Bolden. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the 1st down.
So it'll be 1st down here after the run. They stay on the ground. Here's Bolden again. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
It's not always as straight as that team wanted it more than the other, but on that play, it actually was true. They were faster to the ball.
Here's Brissett. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Whenever I see a drop like that, I have to kind of take a step back and check myself a little bit. So used to seeing those big guys make big-time spectacular plays that when they drop one, I have to remind myself, we ask a lot out of these guys. Block and catch the football, not easily done in today's NFL.
Brissett. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
So much of this game is focus and concentration. And whenever I see guys running the in route, I know that in the back of their mind, they're always wondering who's lurking inside that might put a big hit on them as they try and catch the ball.
And that one will be no good. He never had it on line. It's well wide to the left, and this score will stay right where it is. So an empty possession there. What do you think went wrong, Charles?
Well, it looked like maybe the plant leg might have given way just a little, and when that happens, guys have a tendency to pull through the ball to compensate. And in doing so, sent this one off target.
Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now?
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
One man in the backfield. That's McCoy. They go play action here on first down. Still back there. He's going to air it out deep for Woods. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Holding offense.
And that right there will set him back a bit on the offensive holding penalty.
And you know who you want to pressure after a penalty like that? The guy who just committed the foul. You want to see if he's going to keep his head down or if he's going to get his head right back into the game. I'd send a blitz at him right away and see if he holds up.
They come up with exactly 1 minute to go in this first quarter. After the penalty, it's McCoy. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. He'll wind up getting 11 on that one. And that'll bring up second down.
That's a good, strong run there. And while it won't pick up a first down, it was definitely something needed by that offense. A positive run. They got a good push by their guys up front. Maybe it's something they can build on as this game continues.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. Again, we'll see the pistol here. They'll go again to McCoy. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
The evaluation process in today's NFL does not take into account as much bulk as it does speed. And that's what we're seeing with the linebacker position. Those guys that can run, they can play in any spot because they can make plays on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. So just a lone field goal in this first quarter of play. It's a 3-point game here early, and we'll return to Foxborough after this.
NFL on EA Sports is brought to you by Snickers. You're off your game when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter about to get underway with the Bills in possession. They've got it 3rd and 10 here to start things out. From the gun, it's Taylor. Finding time. And he'll be hit from behind and taken down. Jonathan Freeney coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Here's Colton Schmidt now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Bills defense now as they head out to defend here. And they got to be feeling good about forcing that long missed field goal the last go around.
And you know what upsets a kicker more than anything? Is missing a kick they think they can make and feeling like the other side believes that they had something to do with it. And it doesn't matter to those guys on defense. I know they're taking full credit. Yep, we forced him into the miss, and they're going to ride that confidence the rest of the way. We'll see if the kicker's able to get his confidence back as well.
They start on the ground here with Blunt. He had a quick little spin move, but the door shut fast as he's dropped. And they give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down.
Let's go!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there.
Here we go! Ryan 38!
Now Blunt. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
Well, on that play, the expression, don't blink, you might miss something, certainly applied. That was fast. Defense diagnosed the play, and it was over in a heartbeat.
Here's Ryan Allen now. On for his 2nd punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. On the return, it's Tate. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the offense will come back onto the field for the 1st and 10. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. They'll start on the ground with McCoy. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
And when you're trying to set up a counter play, that's what a lot of people call an influence play. You're really hoping those defensive linemen are really agile that day. If they stayed out late the night before the game and they're not moving as fast, it's a lousy call because that means they're just going to sit in the hole that you hope to create just by the movement of your offensive line.
And there they got the ball to the outer third of the field, but tackled behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, things get stacked up in there if they don't move as well as you want them to. They're probably just trying to escape and couldn't get away. For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
3rd down and 8 now. Out of the gun, it's Taylor. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sand.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
Here's Colton Schmidt now. He's been terrific so far. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. That's pulled in at the 32. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Patriots take over. Now the Patriots offense, they work their way back out onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. To the left side and complete for Julian Edelman. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll make it second down. And finding Edelman underneath, that's a recipe for success.
Typical route for a good slot receiver, and Edelman's one of the best in the game. Knows how to go inside what one of my college coaches used to call the briar patch. Got to go in there where it's tough and make those tough catches. And not only can he do it, he can often run away from people after the catch.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Aaron Williams. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
Again, it's McCoy. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory.
I'm often struck when I watch LaShawn McCoy play, how often you just watch him and you can almost get mesmerized by his style, and then boom, there's another 20-plus yard run. It's amazing how he pulls it off.
Yeah, his former second-round pick out of Pittsburgh, still doing it in the league at a very, very high level. They come out here in the eye. Now a first down carry here for McCoy. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. The defensive tackle, Alan Branch, is the one to bring him down. And a couple of big boys up front defensively, and in that 4-3, those D tackles so vital.
Extremely vital. I love how you describe that, because if they control things up front, often it's over the guard. Sometimes they slide and make it over the center. It's really hard to get a play started then, because a lot of teams want to start inside out running the football. But against a good 4-3, you may not find any space. And on that play, there was 0 space, no gain. They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on: catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Third down now following the completed pass. from the shotgun. It's Taylor. And he's got his man. It's the tight end, Clay. And he will have a first down at about the 21-yard line.
Okay, when the big guy runs a corner route, you're asking a lot no matter who's covering him. Doesn't matter whether it's a linebacker or a defensive back. Yeah. He usually has the advantage because of his body type.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. They come up in an offset eye. They go back to the ground with McCoy. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
There's another example of why they haven't scored any points so far. I think it's time to abandon the run game, spread things out, and go to the air. It certainly can't be any worse than what they've done so far.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. Now flags will come in. One of the Bills got going a little early.
False start, offense.
Let's go, D.
Still 2nd down.
Gillisley. They find some open field here. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 13 on the play, and it'll be 3rd down.
It seemed like the situation was 2nd and a mile to go for a first down, which screams what? Throw the football. You got to pass in order to try and pick up that kind of yardage. But in this case, they ran a tendency breaker because the tendency is for defenses to be out there and be set up for a pass. So you break tendency and actually run the football. That changes everything because if you're able to find a crease, you often have bigger guys working against smaller guys downfield. They picked up excellent yardage there to bring up a 3rd down.
And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. And Carpenter knocks it through, and the Bills are going to tie the game at 3. So they were able to move the ball into the red zone, but they'll wind up coming away with just 3.
Yeah, 32-yarder. That's equal to an extra point nowadays, and those are no problem for an NFL kicker.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Patriots offense now, they work their way back onto the field. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite of that level and not of that age. But I remember
I was going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
Watch left, watch left, watch left. Check right, check right. Here it round,
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Going underneath to Blunt. And down he'll go at the 25. Give him 6 on the play, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
2nd down now after the pass completion. Brissett. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away, and now it's 3rd. So a 2nd down incompletion now brings up 3rd down. Here's Brissett. He's got time. And that is incomplete. Unable to get it to Gronkowski that time. And it's 4th down. Here's Ryan Allen now as he's on to punt for New England. Fielded just inside the 20. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And possession will switch hands. 1st and 10. And the Bills getting set to go. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board.
And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. And a play like that, with how far he had to go to make that sack, shows how athletic defensive ends have become in the NFL.
And not just athletic. This is coached in a big way. Run to the football at all times. How about him never giving up on it and pursuing all the way across the field?
On 2nd down, here's Taylor. He's got time in the pocket. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Now it's Taylor. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Call it a gain of 3, and that'll bring up 4th down.
That's certainly playing down a distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath by all means.
Here's Colton Schmidt now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Taken in at the 22. It's a 49-yard punt, but subtract 9 there for the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now the Patriot offense set to take over again. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with a game this close, You got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play. Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
Now a carry for Blunt. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
2nd down following the run.
Let's go! Brand 38!
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he dumps it off to Blunt. And he's brought down. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
First down, he'll drop to throw. Amendola catching it left side.
Holding. Offense.
So a little grabbing there, but this time it goes against the offense for holding. A 10-yard penalty there on first down, so now 1st and 20. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he just gets rid of it, throws it away. A wise move there, looked like nobody open, now 2nd down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. Gronkowski, slot left.
Here we go! Brand 38!
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds. 2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. Back to Foxborough after this. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Larry Ridley. Larry will have highlights and analysis of this first half. I'm guessing mostly defensive highlights that we will see.
Yeah, and that's kind of cool. No touchdown scored yet so far.
Yeah, none whatsoever. And the dreaded 3rd and long here for the offense.
Here we go! Brand 38! Brand 38!
They'll look to throw again. Surveying the field. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
3rd down is the down. Both sides know they absolutely have to win. And the name of the game for the defense is pressure on the quarterback. But pressure on the quarterback with contact, that's how you end up winning it.
Gostkowski now for the Pats field goal try. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. And Gostkowski's kick is good. And they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals at 6-3. A little bit of a lower trajectory there on the deep kick, and it worked.
Had to do it because he had to drive it out low because of the length of the kick. Able to do that, got it above the defense and over the post.
Gostkowski now converted for 3. Now he'll kick this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Back onto the field now comes the Bills offense. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
Then they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Over the middle and caught by the tight end play. A good pickup there, a 22.
When you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
Come on, let's go. 1, 9.
Now Taylor on first down. Completes it to Powell. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over. We'll see what they come up with here on this next play. So they complete the pass, and now they face a second down.
Here we go. 1, 9.
To throw again is Taylor. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away, and now it's 3rd. First down marker at the 31. It's 3rd down.
Let's go. 1, 9.
Throwing again, it's Taylor. Left side here, caught by Clay. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, it's not more than a half a foot.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He hit his first. Now this one from 48 yards away. And this one is right down the middle. And that will knock things up here late in the first half. So a good kick there, and they finish off the drive with 3.
And that should be the goal for an offense. Finish each drive with points. So that's a nice job there to come away with at least something.
Now Amendola. Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Now the Patriots gearing up to go now. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. So pass interference on the defense. And Charles, this is a penalty we see all the time.
The offenses know what they're doing. They know how to create great matchups. And defenders, if you're not there in time, they will throw the flag.
Someone moved, flag is out. That's going to be 5 yards.
And that'll drive coaches crazy. You work all week on dealing with loud crowds, on dealing with motion, and then you have a guy jump.
Still first down.
Brissett. The throw left side complete to Hogan. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
If you're running out route, it's likely you end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. They slot Gronkowski outright.
Come on, let's go. What?
Here's Brissett. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half. Incomplete pass on 2nd down. Let's see what the offense draws up here on 3rd. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. To the right side, and he's got Edelman. And he'll go down at the 28. 11 yards on the pickup, and that's going to make it 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And we are back here. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. So the offense takes a timeout, and now we're set to get going. Gostkowski now for the Pats field goal try. From the right hash, this from 45 yards away. And Gostkowski's kick is good. And they take the lead here as it's now 9-6. So they kick it through to take the lead. There is a little bit of time left, though, here in the 2nd quarter.
And while they're concerned about not giving up a big return or giving up points themselves going into the half, how good do they feel, though, putting points on the board themselves right near the end of the first half?
Gostkowski now converted for 3. Now he'll kick this one away. On the return, it's Brandon Tate. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we've reached halftime here at Gillette Stadium with the Patriots on top. As we send you down to Orlando where we check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Larry.
Thanks, Brandon. Thanks, Charles. And welcome to our EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. Both teams have done enough to be leading here to this point. But in a close game, you know the second half is going to have some more twists and turns, which should lead to some excitement. All right, let's roll the highlights. Third down from the 48. They're going to get to the QB once again. This will go for a loss of 8. Now 3rd and 8 to once again sack the QB. This ends up as a loss of 17. That'll do it for us here at EA Sports Studios. Let's get back out to Brandon and Charles for the call of the second half. Brandon.
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded at the 2. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
Illegal block in the back. Return team. Automatic first down.
On the counter, here's McCoy. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
I know the focus is LaShawn McCoy here, but the defense is doing a really nice job. He's nowhere near his normal yardage total in this game.
Yeah, such a prolific rusher, well up over 6,000 for his career. How have they kept him down?
Well, a lot of gang tackling, getting to the point of attack with a number of people, not creating any creases or cracks for him to find his way through. As you know, with that agility and vision he has, he can always pop a big run.
Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10. So back-to-back plays here where he couldn't get anything on the ground. Now you face a 3rd and 10 and assume you're going to try to pass it, right?
I would think so, because you've tried to run the ball, and really it doesn't matter who got the ball in the play because there was no space to go. So I think you step back, throw the ball to try and pick up the first down.
On 3rd down, Taylor. And he goes down. It's a Patriots sack. It's the replacement for Chandler Jones, Chris Long. In there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
Here's Colton Schmidt now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Take it at the 37. We'll call that a 49-yard punt, but a net of just 39 following the 10-yard return. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Amendola catching it left side. And he's brought down. It's a gain of 14 there. And it gives the Pats a first down. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Let's go! Brand 38! Brand 38!
They'll drop to throw. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Gronkowski the intended target, and it's 3rd down. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Goes underneath here to White. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line.
A short game that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. Gostkowski now for the Pats field goal try. This one from 48 yards away. And Gostkowski's kick is good. And they double their lead, pushing it up now to 12-6. So he's got another field goal, his 4th now of the game, and he's making it look easy out there.
Yeah, he kind of has that vibe about him, doesn't he, Brandon? You get the sense when he comes out there, he just says, don't worry, guys, I got this. And 4 times now, he has.
Gostkowski now converted for 3. Now he'll kick this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. They'll try and get the running game going with McCoy. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 11 yards on the pickup, and it'll be a Buffalo first down.
It's really come into vogue to talk about the different gaps that a defense tries to attack in an offensive line. And most of the time we're talking about blitzes. How many times have you heard double A-gap blitz? Well, where is the A-gap? It's the space between the center and the guards, either side. So when you're having a double A-gap blitz, that's 2 guys coming through that gap. In this situation, though, that A-gap wasn't open for the defense to exploit. The offensive line took care of it, protected it, and moved the defensive guys out of the way to allow for that nice run.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
That was a really nice play, be able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain.
Let's go! Brand 38!
Now Taylor with a draw to McCoy. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Another pistol look here.
Brand 38!
Here's Taylor. They got a man over the middle. It's Woods. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. So he makes the grab and the chains move forward.
Nice job by the offensive line giving them time to complete that first down pass.
They'll throw on first down with Taylor. Over the middle and caught by the tight end Clay. It'll be a gain of 4, and it's a second down.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the ball, as we just saw there.
6 yards here to go for the offense on second down. They go now to McCoy. He's seen a ton of action this afternoon. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
And that run was what a lot of people call an explosive run. Gave them good yardage, solid yardage. They feel good about the whole thing, and they did it behind a 2 tight end set. It's always interesting to watch what offenses want to do with the 2 tight ends. Sometimes they line them up together for a power set. Sometimes they put one on each side of the line of scrimmage to balance things out. No matter what, though, when you see 2 tight ends on the field, your first thought is to think run. In this case, the offense was able to run successfully.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Now Taylor to throw on second down. And his throw is incomplete.
My high school coach, John Ford, used to say all the time, if you're in a bad situation, laddie, don't compound it with a bad decision as well. And I think that's what we just saw there. Harassed in the pocket, and he throws into double coverage anyway.
He called you laddie?
He called me laddie, and that was the nicest thing he called me.
8th play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on 3rd down.
Let's go!
From the shotgun, it's Taylor. And Tate's got it. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Their dangerous wide receiver. A 22-yard touchdown grab. And the Bills are an extra point away from taking the lead.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
And that one puts them on top here in the 3rd. After the TD, here's Carpenter on to kick it away. Now Jones. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
Let's go!
Here's Brissett. Over the middle, it's Amendola. And he's brought down. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Fresh set of downs here.
Here we go!
He'll run it here with Blunt. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big, big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they will just roam and hit.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40.
Holding offense.
So he got his hands a little too far outside. The ref caught him, threw the flag. And they'll go on the ground. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Corey Graham brings him down.
But he was stopped on that play. He's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
Single, slot. Hey, you're on an island over there. You're on an island.
Extra DB on the field for the Bills here on 3rd down.
Yeah, maybe thinking pass. Brissett. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. A well-designed corner blitz that gets him for a loss of 8 yards.
The game plan for any defense is finding ways to make a quarterback uncomfortable in the pocket. When you bring pressure from all angles, you never know who's going to get home. In this case, the left cornerback, right in the face of him, puts him down.
Here's Ryan Allen now, standing right on his own 5-yard line. Now it's Tate. Ooh, with a juke. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Well, that's exactly what you want on a 1st down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Now a 20th carry here for McCoy. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3. And 3rd quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you've stopped the clock and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding clock.
And got a man. It's Woods. And he has the 1st down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the 1st. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Throwing now, Taylor on 1st down. This complete to the tight end, Clay. 6 yards on the pickup, and it'll bring up a 2nd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did. Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
Offense coming up, needing 2 yards on third down. One man in the backfield. That's McCoy. And they'll give it to him here. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
On third down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
They come out here in the eye. Now Taylor going to hand this one off to McCoy. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Man, wasn't that long ago that the guy playing that spot was an outside linebacker type of a guy. Now, as a defensive end, how about the speed that he used to get into the backfield and make the play?
A little bit of ground to make up for the offense as they face a 2nd and 11. Play action, it's Taylor. Finding time. And some room to work. And he's going to be out of bounds down inside the 20. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
Have come and gone. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Foxborough, and we've got a dandy here. A 1-point game as we begin the 4th. Nine yards still remaining here to pick up the first on second down. They'll try and run some clock now with McCoy. And he'll take this one down near the 15. Only a gain of a couple there. That leaves them needing about 7 here on third down. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding, keep it going. But you got to figure now they're going to see more people stacked up in the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
So 3rd and 7 and an extra defensive back on the field here.
Definitely want to play coverage here.
And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down. So a pressure kick here for Dan Carpenter. And Carpenter knocks it through, and that'll move their lead up to 4 now. So they get the 3 here, but you wonder whether that's going to be enough.
Yeah, I mean, you've now made it so they need a touchdown rather than a field goal to catch them. But you're right. If they'd gotten 6 out of that drive, this would be a much different game.
Carpenter now, after the made field goal, will kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. Danny Amendola, he's going to go. And he will take this one all the way back inside the 35-yard line.
And when you're facing a deficit on the scoreboard, you're just looking for something to get you right back into the game, and that's the spark that they were looking for. They got it with that big return.
And they'll start this drive with very good field position.
Let's go. 1, 9.
Now a play fake here on first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
It looked like they had something there, but I think that he was thinking about running with the football before he actually hauled it in, and that led to a big drop.
Second and 10, he'll look to throw again. He's got time. To the sideline, and oh, a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were.
Can you do any more work or make it more dramatic for not much gain than what we just saw there? Did you see how his toes got down? Tip-tap, got him down. But what did he get out of it?
He sold the sizzle. He just had no steak.
I mean, was it 1 yard?
Yeah, plays like that, you at least expect a first down. They're just 1 yard. On third down, he'll drop to throw. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And incomplete, almost intercepted. Had a great shot of picking that off in the end zone. And now fourth down.
A missed opportunity for an interception would have killed off a drive. They had a chance there to finish things off. Didn't get it done. I guess that's why a lot of those guys do not play offense.
So on fourth down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This is a 49-yard attempt, right hash. And Gostkowski's kick is good. And that'll bring him back within a point. So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
Gostkowski now converted for 3. Now he'll kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. They come up in an offset eye. Taylor with a give to McCoy. And he's got room. It's a pickup of 19. And it's first down, Buffalo.
This seems almost like a mathematical equation here. LaShawn Shady McCoy goes for big yards running the ball. His team is winning the game. Seems to work out pretty well, doesn't it?
Works out very well. The pride of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania doing his thing again. So here we go, first and 10 now. And they'll keep on the ground with McCoy. Look at the spin. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. And in this situation with a lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
He's got time in the pocket. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. And the offense looks to pick up the first here on 3rd after that incompletion.
Here we go. Brand 38.
They go play action with Taylor. Surveying the field. All kinds of time. And this is going to be incomplete. Robert Woods, former USC man, the intended target. And 4th down coming up. Here's Colton Schmidt now as he's on to punt for Buffalo. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. That one sails out of bounds. The side judge will walk it off. And he says it went out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Nice punt. And not great starting field position here for the offense. Here's Brissett. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
So the ref takes a peek here, wants to see if the receiver had possession and both feet inbounds.
If this were a college game, this would be a legal catch. It's the second foot that they're looking at to make sure it gets down. You have to have 2 inbounds in the NFL.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
They'll look to throw now on first down. No, bottled up, fumble. It's out, it's loose. Now this is picked up by the Bills. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations, big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Really nice starting field position here for the offensive unit. One man on the backfield. That's McCoy. They'll throw on first down with Taylor. And that's caught left side. It's Woods. And he's brought down. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here.
Let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to get him inside the 5 here, just inside the 5 to about the 4. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. Well, they'll take that every time with a lead, first down, fourth quarter, getting 8 yards. You love that.
They will take it, and you have to ask the defensive guys, why did you give it? I mean, you know the situation. You're down, have to stop them, have to get the football back, but 8 yards on first down puts them back on their heels.
Now McCoy, and he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up a first and goal.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
First and goal from the 1 as they look to punch it in into a mass of bodies, and I think they held him out. They did. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. Sort of a hallmark here of a Rex Ryan team last year, the #1 rushing attack in the NFL, keeping it on the ground here, eating some clock with a lead.
And it really shouldn't be a surprise. Rex Ryan's a defensive-minded head coach. He loves having a good running attack because it helps his defense out in a big way.
They'll try and run it in with a fullback, Felton. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Buffalo. Jerome Felton punching it in from a yard away. And the Bills use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. And that's why you have the fullback, Charles. Couldn't get it in the play before with the smaller guy. Turned to a little more power. They score it.
And now it has to warm the hearts of a lot of old-school football fans. They love when they get to see a little bit of power football.
Now Carpenter to add the extra point. And with that, the lead is up to 8. After the TD, here's Carpenter on to kick it away. Now Amendola. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
Here we go.
Brissett. Finding time. And that will be caught. But out of bounds. Out of bounds, ruled incomplete here.
Well, there's times when you see these catches that are made, and we just know the guys playing it are really wishing for college rules. Only need that one foot down instead of 2. It's awfully difficult on the sideline, isn't it?
So the incomplete pass brings up second down.
Everyone's got 4 down. Here we go. 90.
They'll look to throw here. Screen pass to Blunt. And some space here. And all the way down to the 26. A big play there on the catch and run. 49 yards.
A well-executed screen pass means the offensive line has bluffed the defenders. They make them think that they can just get through and get to the quarterback. Instead, they're setting them up. Little screen pass, lofted over them, and now they're in front, and they get downfield for big yardage when they do it right.
And now a first down following that long gain. Gronkowski, slot left.
Let's
So
go.
the false start will back them up 5.
False start, offense. Still first down.
First and 15 here behind the chains.
Watch that end. Tight end's right. Tight end's right. Let's go.
They go play action here on first down. And they can't get the long connection as it falls incomplete. So the defense has put them in a tough spot. It's 2nd and long. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he's brought down. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
Love the call by the offensive coordinator, recognizing the situation very well, calling for the play action pass and completing it.
Let's go. Here we go. What? 90. What? 90.
Boulder. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front, they moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
That's the run. They're running it. Here we go. Brand 38.
They'll run again with Bolden. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
Let's go. Brand 38. Brand 38.
Now back to throw. He's got time. And he's going to be swallowed up and taken down. Sacked back at the 5-yard line.
On any 1st and goal, the real estate to work with for the offense is really cut down, and the defense knows it. So they often bring heat and pressure, which they did on this play. Got him down for a loss. Not a big one, but any loss of yardage in this position is tough for an offense.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. No gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal. So stuff for no gain on 2nd down brings up a pretty interesting 3rd from this distance.
I'm throwing the ball, and I'm not even thinking about play pass. I'm going to let them know right away I'm throwing it, but I'm probably giving my quarterback some room, sprint him out to one side or the other, and give him an opportunity. If it breaks down, he can take off and run for it.
They're going to look to throw. That's caught at the 2. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that will bring up an interesting decision here on 4th and goal.
Well, they certainly didn't get what they wanted on that play. That means it's a big-time decision on what you call on 4th down.
Absolutely, because a field goal here doesn't do them much good. Likely the play of the game here, trailing in the final quarter and going for it on 4th and goal.
Here we go. Ryan 38. Ryan 38.
Got to try it here. He's back. And this is caught. Touchdown, Patriots. Danny Amendola, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Patriots move back within a couple of the lead. Big 4th down conversion for the score, and the defense, that is a tough pill to swallow.
Big time for them. How about them just deciding to go for it on 4th down? And, okay, forget the field goal, because that looked like an easy 3 points. Yeah, you might have had a defensive breakdown in there, but they pressed the issue and found a way to get it into the end zone. Give them big credit for that.
Now flags come in. Looked like one of the Patriots might have moved.
False start, offense.
They'll again try for 2, this time from the 7. They'll try and throw for it. And no, it falls incomplete. So the 2-point conversion no good.
Well, partner, since this new 2-point rule came into play, offenses spend a lot more time working on it. That means the defenses are doing the exact same thing.
Gostkowski now after the touchdown. He'll send this one away. This is taken at his 4. Oh, a nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle him.
They'll pitch it out to McCoy. And an alley to run. And he's brought down. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. And the all-time leading rusher for the Philadelphia Eagles, adding to his career total.
And the help he got on the play is almost exactly as you would draw it up, because in order to get to the edge, you have to do what? You got to seal it. And that's what they did with their blocking there, so he could get to the corner and then turn upfield. Great speed, great vision, and that agility you've talked about whenever you've watched him.
First down and 10 now for the offensive group. And they'll keep it on the ground with McCoy. And he's going to take this one down to about the 46-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here.
Really tough drive, but that run helped salvage something there, because now there's something positive that came out of it. They got to see good blocking, good push by the offensive line, wide receivers trying to get involved, a good run by the back. And now maybe it'll be a catalyst for them to look at going forward, watching it on tape. Maybe they can keep incorporating that type of a run into their offense.
On second down, Taylor. And he's got some space here. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. So the offense has it first and 10.
Come on, let's go. Ryan 38.
Now a play fake here on first down. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
So 2nd and 10 here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it down inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy. 3rd and 5, so they bring in an extra defensive back.
Expecting pass. Now Taylor. He's got time in the pocket. Room here to run. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. He gets 7 out of it, and he also gets a first. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. And the play clock is going to run out here. They're in no hurry to get a play off.
Delay of game, offense. Still first down.
And the defense in desperate need of a stop. They have to get off the field and get the ball back to their offense if they want a chance.
Come on, let's go.
A fake to McCoy. Now it's Taylor. Letting one go deep for the end zone. And that is caught. Touchdown, Buffalo. Nick O'Leary, 27 yards. And the Bills will extend their lead.
That's almost just not right. You cover everybody, but those tight ends, they can be awfully reliable.
Very reliable. The defense just has to hate those guys.
Just drives them crazy because oftentimes you can't match up with them. They have you either with size, speed, or maybe even just strength.
Carpenter now for the extra point. And that makes it a 9-point game. Here's Carpenter on to kick it away. Now Amendola. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Here's Brissett. Wide open, Gronkowski. And he's brought down after a good gain. 23 yards on the play. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. So the Patriots with a football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And this one is incomplete. LeGarrette Blount was the intended target. And now it's second down. Offense still needing 10 yards. Second down. They slot Gronkowski outright.
Come on, let's go. Grand 38. Grand 38.
Brissett. Over the middle, Julian Edelman. It's complete. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs. They're going to hurry back to the line now. They're going to look to throw. And he dumps it off to Blount. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle.
Holding offense.
So holding by the offense, and maybe now got to shift up what you want to do on the playbook.
Yeah, definitely. Change what you're doing in the playbook, but boy, the advantage shifts to the guys on defense, doesn't it? Longer yardage situations, they often become bolder.
The penalty really backs up the offense here on first down. Now 20 yards to go.
Come on, let's go.
Back to throw again. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. 4 yards on the pickup, and it'll be a second and long.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they could do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
Single, I got a single slot. Let's go.
They'll look to throw again. And right side caught Hogan. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Here's Brissett. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet.
And they put it in the end zone, which was job one. Now they have to convert. And then it's decision time, isn't it?
Yeah, so this is what all teams go through. You look at the clock, you're inside 2 minutes, look at your timeouts, make that onside kick decision.
Yeah, how do you feel about your defense, where you are in terms of the scoreboard, and the time left on the clock, as you noted? So many things to go through.
Now Steven Gostkowski on for the extra point. And the lead is down to 2. So with just over a minute to play, this becomes a make-or-break onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the Bills, and that should all but do it. A tough one there. They certainly wanted that when they needed it, but they didn't absolutely have to get it. They still do have 3 timeouts.
You're exactly right. They had to attempt it. But even though they didn't get it, as you noted, with 3 timeouts, if they can get these stops on defense, all hope is not lost.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively.
Let's go. What? 90.
Here's McCoy. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. Now we're going to get a timeout here called by the Patriots. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. So the offense lining up 1st and 10. And an encroachment penalty here will cost them 5 yards.
And it makes it so simple, doesn't it? An easy free 5 yards for the offense given to them by the defense.
Still first down.
So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it down. Now whistles blow, and the Patriots are going to take another timeout. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. The Bills on their way to victory now as they take the knee. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. It'll be their third and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. Victory very much in sight now as they'll take a knee. And with a 3rd and 13 here, the defense in a dime look. Taylor to a knee, and that ought to just about do it. Well, Charles, Foxborough, never, ever, under any circumstance, an easy place to win, but kudos, hats off, they got it done.
Yeah, and our guy Marvin, our statistician, he slid us the note, 91-16 here at home in the Tom Brady era. That's pretty impressive.
That's very impressive.
Hard to beat this team. They're not only well coached, not only are they talented, this crowd loves getting behind them.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. And with that, we say so long from Foxborough.